Welcome to Relevance. The world's greatest podcast, hosted by author Mike R. Aikins, where they dare to talk about topics that really matter. Welcome to Relevance. The world's greatest podcast, hosted by author Mike R. Aikins, where they dare to talk about topics that really matter.
Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Chapter 7, Organized Planning. Part 2, the 30 major causes of failure. How many of these are holding you back? Life's greatest tragedy consists of men and women who earnestly try and fail. The tragedy lies in the overwhelmingly large majority of people who fail, as compared to the few who succeed. I have had the privilege of analyzing several thousand men and women, 98% of whom were classed as failures. There's something radically wrong with a civilization and a system of education which permit so many people to go through life as failures. But I did not write this book for the purpose of moralizing on the rights and wrongs of the world. That would require a book 100 times the size of this one. My analysis work proved that there are 30 major reasons for failure. As you go over the list, check yourself by it, point by point, to discover how many of these causes of failure stand between you and success. Number 1, unfavorable hereditary background. Little, if anything, can be done for people who are born with a deficiency in brain power. This philosophy offers but one method of bridging this weakness. Through the aid of the mastermind, observe with profit, however, that this is the only one of the 30 causes of failure that may not be easily corrected by an individual. Number 2, lack of a well-defined purpose in life. There is no hope for success for the person who does not have a central purpose or definite goal at which to aim. 98 out of 100 of those whom I have analyzed had no such aim. Perhaps this was the major cause of their failure. Number 3, lack of ambition to aim above mediocrity. We offer no hope for the person who is so indifferent as not to want to get ahead in life and who is not willing to pay the price. Number 4, insufficient education. This is a handicap that may be overcome with comparative ease. Experience has proven that the best educated people are often those who are known as self-made or self-educated. It takes more than a university degree to make one person an education. Any person who is educated has learned to get whatever they want in life without violating the rights of others. Number 4, insufficient education. This is a handicap that may be overcome with comparative ease. Experience has proven that the best educated people are often those who are known as self-made or self-educated. It takes more than a university degree to make one a person of education. Any person who is educated has learned to get whatever they want in life without violating the rights of others. Education consists not so much of knowledge, but of knowledge effectively and persistently applied. People are paid not merely for what they know, but more particularly for what they do with what they know. Number 5, lack of self-discipline. Discipline comes through self-control. This means that you must control all negative qualities. Before you can control conditions, you first must control yourself. Self-mastery is the hardest job you will ever tackle. If you do not conquer self, you will be conquered by self. You may see it one and the same, both your best friend and your greatest enemy, by stepping in front of a mirror. Number 6, ill health. No person may enjoy outstanding success without good health. Many of the causes of ill health are subject to mastery and control. These, in the main, are overeating of foods not conducive to health, wrong habits of thought, giving expression to negatives, wrong use of or overindulgence in sex, lack of proper physical exercise, and an inadequate supply of fresh air due to improper breathing. Number 7, unfavorable environmental influences during childhood. As the twig is bent, so shall the tree grow. Most people who have criminal tendencies acquire them as a result of bad environment and improper associates during childhood. Number 8, procrastination. This is one of the main common causes of failure. Old man procrastination stands within the shadow of all people, awaiting the opportunity to spoil their chances of success. Most of us go through life as failures because we are waiting for the time to be right, to start doing something worthwhile. Do not wait. This time will never be just right. Start where you stand. Work with whatever tools you may have at your command, and better tools will be found as you go along. Number 9, lack of persistence. Most of us are good starters, but poor finishers of everything we begin. Moreover, people are prone to give up at first signs of defeat. There is no substitute for persistence. The persistent person discovers that old man failure finally becomes tired and goes away. Failure cannot cope with persistence. Number 10, negative personality. There is no hope of success for the person who repels people through a negative personality. Success comes through the application of power, and power is attained through the cooperative efforts of other people. A negative personality will not induce cooperation. Number 11, lack of controlled sexual urge. Sex energy is the most powerful of all stimuli that move people into action. Because it is most powerful of the emotions, it must be controlled through transmutation and converted into other channels. Number 12, failure. Evidence of this may be found in a study of the dot-com fiasco of the early 2000s, during which millions of people tried to make money by investing in fly-by-night companies. Number 13, lack of a well-defined power of decision. People who succeed reach decisions promptly and change them, if at all, very slowly. But people who fail reach decisions, if at all, very slowly, and change them frequently and quickly. Indecision and procrastination are twins. Where one is found, the other may usually be found also. Kill off this pair before they completely tie you to the treadmill of failure.
Please allow us to pay a few bills and take a station break as we patronize our wonderful sponsors. We'll be right back with the Relevance Podcast.
Number 15, wrong selection of a mate in marriage. This is the most common cause of failure. The relationship of marriage brings people intimately into contact. Unless this relationship is harmonious, failure is likely to follow. Moreover, it will be a form of failure marked by misery and unhappiness, destroying all signs of ambition. Number 16, overcaution. The person who takes no charge or no chances generally has to take whatever is left when others have finished choosing. Overcaution is as bad as undercaution. Both are extremes to be guarded against. Life itself is filled with the element of chance. Number 17, wrong selection of associates in business. This is one of the most common causes of failure in businesses. In marketing your services, you should take great care to select an employer who will be an inspiration and who is intelligent and successful. We'll emulate those with whom we associate most closely. Pick an employer who is worth emulating. Number 18, superstition and prejudice. Superstition is a form of fear. It is also a sign of ignorance. People who succeed keep open minds and are afraid of nothing. Number 19, wrong selection of a vocation. No one can succeed in a line of endeavor they do not like. The most essential step in marketing your services is selecting an occupation which you can throw yourself wholeheartedly. Number 20, lack of concentration of effort. The jack of all trades is seldom good at any. Concentrate all your efforts on one definite chief aim. Number 21, the habit of indiscriminate spending. Spendthrifts cannot succeed, mainly because they stand eternally in fear of poverty. Form the habit of systemic saving by putting aside a definite percentage of your income. Money in the bank gives you a very safe foundation of courage when bargaining for the sale of your services. Without money, you must take what you are offered and be glad to get it. Number 22, lack of enthusiasm. Without enthusiasm, one cannot be convincing. Moreover, enthusiasm is contagious, and the person who has it under control is generally welcome in any group of people. Number 23, intolerance. The person with a closed mind on any subject seldom gets ahead. Intolerance means that one has stopped acquiring knowledge. The most damaging form of intolerance are those connected with religious, racial, and political indifferences of opinion. Number 24, intemperance. The most damaging form of intemperance are connected with eating, strong drink, and sexual activities. Overindulgence in any of these is fatal to success. Number 25, inability to cooperate with others. More people lose their positions and their big opportunities in life because of this fault than for all other reasons combined. It is a fault which no well-informed business executive or leader will tolerate. Number 26, possession of power not acquired through self-effort. Sons and daughters of wealthy families and others who inherit money that they did not earn. Power in the hands of one who did not acquire it gradually is often fatal to success. Quick riches are more dangerous than poverty. Number 27, intentional dishonesty. There is no substitute for honesty. One may be temporarily dishonest by force of circumstances over which one has no control without permanent damage. But there is no hope for people who are dishonest by choice. Sooner or later, their deeds will catch up with them, and they will pay by loss of reputation and perhaps even loss of liberty. 28, egotism and vanity. These qualities to keep away. They are fatal to success. 29, guessing instead of thinking. Most people are too indifferent or lazy to acquire facts with which to think accurately. They prefer to act on opinions created by guesswork or snap judgments. Number 30, lack of capital. This is a common cause of failure among those who start out in business for the first time without sufficient reserve or capital to absorb the shock of their mistakes and to carry them over until they have established a reputation. Number 31, under this, name any particular cause of failure from which you have suffered that has not been included in the foregoing list. In these 30 major causes of failure is found a description of the tragedy of life, which is relevant for practically every person who tries and fails. It will be helpful if you can induce someone who knows you well to go over this list with you and help to analyze you by the 30 causes of failure. It may be more beneficial than if you try this alone. Most people cannot see themselves as others see them. You may be one who cannot. The oldest of admonitions is know thyself. If you market merchandise successfully, you must know the merchandise. The same is true in marketing your services. You should know all your weaknesses so that you may either bridge them or eliminate them entirely. You should know your strengths so that you may call attention to them when selling your services. You can know yourself only through the folly of ignorance in connection with self was displayed by a young man who applied to be a manager of a well-known business for a position. He made a very good impression until the manager asked him what salary he expected. He replied that he had no fixed sum in mind. This shows lack of a definite aim. The manager then said, "We will pay you what you are worth after we try you out for a week." "I will not accept it," the applicant replied, "because I am getting more than that where I am now employed." Before you even start to negotiate for a readjustment of your salary in your present position or to seek employment elsewhere, be sure that you are worth more than you now receive. It is one thing to want money. Everyone wants more, but it's something entirely different to. Many people mistake their wants for their just dues. Your financial requirements or wants have nothing whatever to do with your worth. Your value is established entirely by your ability to provide useful service or your capacity to induce others to provide such service. Take an inventory of yourself. 28 questions you should answer. Annual self-analysis is essential in the effective marketing of services, as is annual inventory and merchandising. Moreover, the year analysis should disclose a decrease in faults and an increase in virtues. One goes ahead, stands still, or goes backward in life. One's objective should be, of course, to go ahead. Annual self-analysis will disclose whether advancement has been made, and if so, how much. It will disclose any backward steps one may have made. The effective marketing of services requires one to move forward, even if progress is slow. Your self-analysis should be made at the end of each year so you can include in your New Year's resolutions any improvements that the analysis indicates should be made. Take this inventory by asking yourself the following questions and by checking your answers with the aid of someone who will not permit you to deceive yourself as to the accuracy. Self-analysis questionnaire for personal inventory. Number 1, have I attained the goal that I established as my objective for this year? You should work with a definite yearly objective to be attained as part of your major life objective. Number 2, have I delivered service of the best possible quality of which I was capable, or could I have improved any part of this service? Number 3, have I delivered service in the greatest possible quantity of which I was capable? Number 4, has the spirit of my conduct been harmonious and cooperative at all times? Number 5, have I permitted the habit of procrastination to decrease my efficiency, and if so, to what extent? Number 6, have I improved my personality, and if so, in what ways? Number 7, have I been persistent in following my plans through to completion? Number 8, have I reached decisions promptly and definitely on all occasions? Number 9, have I permitted any one of the 6 basic fears in chapter 15 to decrease my efficiency? Number 10, have I been either overcautious or undercautious? Number 11, has my relationship with my colleagues in work been pleasant or unpleasant? If it has been unpleasant, has the fault been partly or wholly mine? Number 12, have I dissipated any of my energy through lack of concentration of effort? Number 13, have I been open-minded and tolerant in connection with all subjects? Number 14, in what way have I improved my ability to provide service? Number 15, have I been
Please allow us to pay a few bills and take a station break as we patronize our wonderful sponsors. We'll be right back with the Relevance Podcast.
Of my habits. Number 16, have I expressed either openly or secretly any form of egotism? Number 17, has my conduct toward my colleagues been such that it has induced them to respect me? Number 18, have my opinions and decisions been based upon guesswork or accuracy of analysis and thought? Number 19, have I followed the habit of budgeting my time, my expenses, and my income? And have I been conservative in these budgets? Number 20, how much time have I devoted to unprofitable effort, which I might have used to better advantage? Number 21, how may I rebudget my time and change my habits so that I will be more efficient during the coming year? Number 22, have I been guilty of any conduct that was not approved by my conscience? Number 23, in what ways have I provided more service and better service than I was paid for? Number 24, have I been unfair to anyone, and if so, in what way? Number 25, if I had been the purchaser of my own services for the year, would I have been satisfied with my purchase? Number 26, has the purchaser of my service been satisfied with the service I have provided? And if not, why not? Number 27, am I in the right vocation? And if not, why not? Number 28, what is my present rating on the fundamental principles of success? Having read and assimilated the information conveyed in this chapter, you are now ready to create a practical plan for marketing your services. Those who have lost fortunes and those who are just beginning to earn money have nothing but their services to offer in return for riches. It is therefore essential that they have available the practical information needed to market their services to best advantage. The information contained in this chapter will be of great value to all who aspire to attain leadership in any calling. It will be particularly helpful to those aiming to market their services as business or industrial executives. Complete assimilation and understanding of the information here conveyed will be helpful in marketing one's own services and will also help one to become more analytical and capable of judging people. The information will be priceless to personnel directors, employment managers, and other executives charged with the selection of employees and the maintenance of efficient organizations. If you doubt this statement, test its soundness by answering and writing the 28 self-analysis questions. Indeed, that might be both interesting and profitable if you do not doubt the soundness of the statement. Where and how to find opportunities to accumulate riches. Now that we've analyzed the principles by which riches may be accumulated, we naturally ask, where may one find favorable opportunities to apply these principles? Very well. Let us take an inventory and see what the Western economy may offer the person seeking riches, great or small. To begin with, let us remember, all of us, that we will live in a society where every law-abiding citizen enjoys freedom of thought and freedom of deed. Most of us have never taken stock of the advantages of this freedom. We've never compared our unlimited freedom with the curtailed freedom in some other societies. Here we have freedom of thought, freedom in the choice and enjoyment of education, freedom in religion, freedom in politics, freedom in the choice of a business, profession, or occupation, freedom to accumulate and own without molestation all the property we can accumulate, freedom to choose one place of residence, freedom in marriage, freedom through equal opportunity to all races, freedom of travel, freedom in our choice of foods, freedom to aim any station in life for which we have prepared ourselves. We have other forms of freedom, but this list will give a bird's eye view of the most important, which constitute opportunity of the highest order. Next, let us recount some of the blessings that our widespread freedom has placed within our hands. Take the average family in Western society, for example, meaning the family of average income, and sum up the benefits available to every member of the family. This family lives in a comfortable home, heated by gas, lighted with electricity, with gas for cooking, all for a reasonable rate. The toast they had for breakfast was toasted on an electric toaster. The carpets are cleaned with a vacuum cleaner run by electricity. Hot and cold water is available at all times in the kitchen and in the bathroom. The food is kept cool in a refrigerator run by electricity. The wife styles her hair, washes her clothes, and irons them with easily operated electrical equipment on power obtained by sticking a plug in the wall. The husband shaves with an electric shaver. They receive entertainment from all over the world 24 hours a day if they want by merely switching on their television. Clothing. Men and women in Western society can meet their clothing requirements and dress very comfortably at prices within the range of an average family's salary. Only the three basic necessities of food, clothing, and shelter have been mentioned. The average citizen has other privileges and advantages available in return for modest effort, not exceeding 8 hours per day of labor. Among these is the privilege of owning a car with which one can come and go at will at a very small cost. The miracle that has provided these blessings. Having no axe to grind, no grudge to express, and no ulterior motives, I have the privilege of analyzing frankly that mysterious, abstract, greatly misunderstood something which proves us with the aforementioned blessings, opportunities to accumulate wealth and freedom of every nature. I have the right to analyze the source and nature of this unseen power because I know and have known for more than a quarter of a century many of the people who organize that power and many who are now responsible for its maintenance. The name of the mysterious benefactor of humankind is capital. Capital consists not of money alone, but more particularly of highly organized, intelligent groups of people who plan ways and means of using money efficiently for the good of the public and profitably for themselves. These groups consist of scientists, educators, chemists, inventors, business analysts, public relations experts, transportation experts, accountants, lawyers, doctors, and both men and women who have highly specialized knowledge in all fields of industry and business. They pioneer, experiment, and blaze trails in new fields of endeavor. They support colleges, hospitals, and schools, build good roads, publish newspapers, pay most of the cost of government, and take care of the multitudinous detail essential to human progress. Stated briefly, the capitalists are the brains of civilization because they supply the entire fabric of which all education, enlightenment, and human progress consists. Properly used, it is the most important essential of civilization. A simple breakfast for a city family consisting of grapefruit juice, cereal, eggs, bread, and butter, and tea with sugar could not be provided at a reasonable price if organized capital had not supplied the machinery, the ships, the railways, and the huge armies of trained people to operate them. Some slight idea of importance of organized capital may be had by trying to imagine yourself burdened with the responsibility of collecting and delivering a simple breakfast to the above-mentioned city family without the aid of capital. To supply the tea, you have to make a trip to China or India. Unless you are an excellent swimmer, you will become rather tired before making the round trip. Then another problem will confront you. Use for money, even if you had the physical endurance to swim the ocean. To supply the sugar, you would have to take another long swim to the Caribbean island or a long walk to a sugar beet farm. But even then you might come back without the sugar because organized effort and money are necessary to produce sugar, to say nothing of what is required to refine, transport, and deliver it to the breakfast table. The eggs you could deliver easily, but you would have a very long journey before you could serve the 2 glasses of grapefruit juice. You would have another long walk to a wheat growing area when you went out after the 4 slices of wheat bread. The cereal would have to be omitted from the menu because it would not be available except through the labor of a trained organization of people and suitable machinery, all of which call for capital. While resting, you could take off for another little swim down to South America, where you would pick up a couple of bananas. And on your return, you would take a short walk to the nearest dairy farm and pick up some butter and cream. Then your city family would be ready to... Seems absurd, doesn't it? Well, the procedure described would be the only possible way these simple items of food could be delivered to the heart of the city if we had no capitalistic system. The sum of money required for the building and maintenance of railways and ships used in the delivery of that simple breakfast is so huge that it staggers one's imagination. It runs into hundreds of millions of dollars, not to mention the armies of trained employees required to man the ships and trains. But transportation is only a part of the requirements of modern civilization. Before there can be anything to haul, something must be grown from the ground or manufactured and prepared for market. This calls for millions of dollars for equipment, machinery, boxing, marketing, and for the wages of millions of men and women. Ships and railways do not spring up from earth and function automatically. They come in response to the call of civilization through the labor and ingenuity and organizing ability of people who have imagination, faith, enthusiasm, decision, and persistence.
Please allow us to pay a few bills and take a station break as we patronize our wonderful sponsors. We'll be right back with the Relevance Podcast.
These people are known as capitalists. They are motivated by the desire to build, construct, achieve, provide useful service, earn profits, and accumulate riches. And because they provide service, without which there would be no civilization, they put themselves in the way of great riches. Just to keep the record simple and understandable, I will add that these capitalists are the self-same people of whom most of us have heard soapbox orators speak. They are the same people to whom radicals, racketeers, dishonest politicians, and union leaders refer as the predatory interests. I am not attempting to present a brief for or against any group of people or any system of economics. I am not attempting to condemn collective bargaining when I refer to union leaders, nor do I aim to give a clean bill of health to all individuals known as capitalists. Of this book, a purpose to which I have faithfully devoted over a quarter of a century, is to present to all who want the knowledge to most dependable philosophy through which individuals may accumulate riches in whatever amounts they desire. I have analyzed the economic advantages of the capitalistic system for the twofold purpose of showing, number one, that all who seek riches must recognize and adapt themselves to the system that controls all approaches to fortunes, large or small, and number two, that they must present the side of the picture opposite to that being shown by politicians and demagogues who refer to organized capital as if it were something poisonous. This is a capitalistic society. It was developed through the use of capital, and we who claim the right to partake of the blessings of freedom and opportunity, we who seek to accumulate riches here, may as well know that neither riches nor opportunity would be available to us if organized capital had not been provided these benefits. If you are one of those who believe that riches can be accumulated by the mere act of people who organize themselves into groups and demand more pay for less service, if you are one of those who demand government relief without early morning disturbance when the money is delivered to you, if you are one of those who believe in trading their votes to politicians in return for passing of laws which permit the raiding of the public treasury, you may rest securely on your belief, with certain knowledge that no one will disturb you, because this is a free country where everyone may think as they please, where nearly everybody can live with but little effort, where many may live well without doing any work whatsoever. However, you should know the full truth concerning this freedom of which so many people boast and so few understand. As great as it is, as far as it reaches, as many privileges as it provides, it does not and cannot bring riches without effort. There is one but dependable method of accumulating and legally holding riches, and that is by providing useful service. No system has been created by which people can legally acquire riches through mere forces of numbers or without giving in return an equivalent value of one form or another. There is a principle known as the law of economics. This is more than a theory. It is a law no person can beat. Mark well, the name of the principle and remember it, because it is far more powerful than all of the politicians and political machines. It is above and beyond the control of all labor unions. It cannot be swayed, influenced, or bribed by racketeers or self-appointed leaders in any calling. Moreover, it has an all-seeing eye and a perfect system of bookkeeping in which it keeps an accurate account of the transactions of every human being engaged in the business of trying to get without giving. Sooner or later, its auditors come around, look over the records of individuals, both great and small, and demand an accounting. Big business, capital predatory interests, or whatever name you choose to give the system with which has given us freedom, represents a group of people who understand, respect, and adapt themselves to the powerful law of economics. Their financial continuation depends upon their respecting the law. Remember also that this is but the beginning of the available sources for the accumulation of wealth. Only a few of the luxuries and non-essentials have been mentioned. But remember that the business of producing, transporting, and marketing these few items of merchandise gives regular employment to many millions of men and women who receive for their services many millions of dollars monthly and spend it freely on both the luxuries and the necessities. Especially remember that behind all of the exchange of merchandise and personal services may be found an abundance of opportunity to accumulate riches. Here our freedom comes to our aid. There is nothing to stop you or anyone from engaging any portion of the effort necessary to carry on these businesses. If one has superior talent, training, or experience, one may accumulate riches in large amounts. Those not so fortunate may accumulate smaller. Anyone may earn a living in return for a very nominal amount of labor. So there you are. Opportunity has spread its wares before you. Step up to the front, select what you want, create your plan, put the plan into action, and follow through with persistence. Capitalistic society will do the rest. You can depend upon this match. Capitalistic society guarantees every person the opportunity to provide useful service and to collect riches in proportion to the value of that service. The system denies no one this right, but it does not and cannot promise something for nothing. The law of economics itself irrevocably controls the system that neither recognizes nor tolerates for long getting without giving. The law of economics was passed by nature. There is no court to which violators of this law may appeal. The law hands out both penalties for its violation and appropriate rewards for its observance, without interference or the possibility of interference by any human being. The law cannot be repealed. It is as fixed as the stars in the heavens and subject to, and a part of, the same system that controls the stars. May one refuse to adapt oneself to the laws of economics? Certainly. This is a free society. We're all born with equal rights, including the privilege of ignoring laws of economics. So what happens then? Well, nothing happens until large numbers of people join forces for the avowed purpose of ignoring the law and taking what they want by force. Then comes the dictator with one well-organized firing squads and machine guns. We have not yet reached that stage, but we have learned all we want to know about how the system works. Perhaps we shall be fortunate enough not to demand personal knowledge of such a gruesome reality. Doubtless, we shall prefer to continue with our freedom of speech, freedom of deed, and freedom to provide useful service in return for riches. These observations are not founded upon short-time experience. They are the result of 25 years of careful analysis of the methods of both the most successful and the most unsuccessful men America has known.
As always, thanks for listening in on the show. And be sure to check out Mike's book, A Simple Guide to Child Support Redemption, available on Amazon.com, or his mobile app, Child Support Made Simple, CSMSX, available through the Google Play Store. And for the latest in current events and videos that really matter, be sure to log on to Mike's YouTube page, author Mike R. Aikins, or his website at www.relevancepodcast.com. As always, thanks for listening in on the show. And be sure to check out Mike's book, A Simple Guide to Child Support Redemption, available on Amazon.com, or his mobile app, Child Support Made Simple, CSMSX, available through the Google Play Store. And for the latest in current events and videos that really matter, be sure to log on to Mike's YouTube page, author Mike R. Aikins, or his website at www.relevancepodcast.com.